Lesson 1, Reading 1. What is important about the stuff I use? Getting ready. Look around you. What do you see? You may see clothes, books, paper, empty soda cans, or leftover pizza. Some people use the word stuff to describe all these things. Maybe you have heard someone say, "Look at this mess. There's stuff everywhere." When people use the word stuff, they mean anything that takes up space. This unit is about stuff and how it can change into new, different stuff. As you read, think about why people might want to change the stuff they start with into something new. Why would someone want to make new stuff? There are many reasons to make new stuff. Scientists develop new materials to make people's lives easier, healthier, safer, or more fun. Medicines are one example. Companies start with substances that are not medicines and change the substances into medicines that help people. Here's a different type of example. In the early 1900s, animal hair was used to make wigs, toothbrush bristles, and lady stockings. Can you imagine brushing your teeth with animal hair? Can you imagine wearing a wig made of animal hair? Later, scientists developed a new material called nylon that could replace animal hair. Nylon is like animal hair in some ways. Nylon and animal hair can both be very flexible, for example. Animal hair and nylon are also different. Animal hair is made by animals, but nylon is created in a laboratory. Nylon bristles last longer in toothbrushes than animal hair does. Sometimes scientists create new stuff that will solve a problem. Sometimes they make old stuff better. Other times, scientists create new stuff, study and learn about it, and then determine how the new stuff can be used. For example, you might have a polar fleece blanket or sweatshirt. Polar fleece is a material scientists created. They found that polar fleece is similar to wool, but it is not as heavy as wool. How many people wear polar fleece to keep warm? New stuff is created for many different reasons. Soda and milk used to come only in glass bottles. Then someone invented plastic. Now you can buy soda and milk in glass or plastic containers. Embedded text-dependent question. Why do you suppose that someone invented plastic? A lot of the stuff you use every day was created from other stuff. As scientists experiment, they compare the new stuff they make with the stuff they started with. In this unit, you will explore ways 1. To make new stuff, 2. To study the new stuff, and 3. To compare new stuff to old stuff. Embedded text-dependent question. Why might scientists want to compare new stuff they create to the old stuff they started with? Scientists have a word for stuff that has mass and volume. That word is matter. Sometimes stuff is a good word. If someone tells you to move your stuff off the table, you probably know what he or she means, but sometimes it's important to be more specific. You may have already learned that matter is made of particles. For a while, particles was the best word for you to use. Then you learned more about particles. You learned that atoms and molecules are specific types of particles. Water is made of water molecules. Water molecules are made of hydrogen and oxygen atoms. The difference between atoms and molecules is important in science, so learning the specific words and what they mean is also important. In class, you studied 2 unknowns. You made careful observations and descriptions as you compared them. Making observations and keeping notes about them are important processes for scientists to keep track of their progress as they develop new materials or try to solve a problem. You describe the unknowns in many different ways, such as color, shape, smell, texture, and hardness. You could tell by feeling and smelling the 2 materials that they were different. However, saying they are different does not tell what makes them different. One unknown was soap and the other was fat. Saying they are different cannot help you determine why people use the soap and fat in different ways. For example, what happens when you put soap in water? What happens when you put fat in water? What happens to soap and to fat if you put them in a pan on the stove? Answering questions like these can help you determine why people use soap to wash and why they use fat to cook. When you think like a scientist, you ask good questions, and you can figure out how to get answers. The driving question for this unit is, how can I make new stuff from old stuff? To figure out the answer, you will start thinking about the old stuff that you start with. In class, you looked at soap and fat. They might not seem like very exciting materials, but you are going to do some exciting things with them over the next few weeks. If you think about embedded text dependent question, if you think about fat as old stuff, what new stuff do you think it could be made into?